you sick and tired of not sticking to the resolutions that you set every single year? Come on, I know that you're totally over the fact that every year on December 31st, you write down a list of things that you're going to stick to, and then before you know it, it's the next year, and you're sitting down, writing down the exact same things all over again because you just didn't stick to them and you let them fall off, and now you're back to square one. Yeah, that was me for years and years and years. So I decided to make it my goal to come up with the best New Year's planning strategy ever known to man and womankind. And I have been able to successfully stick to every single commitment that I've made with myself for the past couple of years with this blueprint that I mapped out. It is a 3-part blueprint called the Best Year Blueprint. It is a no resolutions necessary strategy to mapping out the best year of your life. And it works. How do I know it works? Because I'm the guinea pig and I've used it for the past couple of years and I've accomplished everything that I said that I would do and more. So what's this mean to you? Well, it's really, really good news because I've actually created a totally free guide and a video where I'm explaining my 3-part Best Year Blueprint so that you can go and use this strategy to create the best year of your life too. So all you have to do to go get the free guide and the video is go to thebestyearblueprint.com. I'll put it in the show notes, but it's thebestyearblueprint.com. Go to that link and download your free guide. And then after you download it, there's going to be a special invitation to you to join me for my pre-New Year's planning party where we're all going to get on Zoom and do our Best Year Blueprint strategy together. So, I mean, my gosh, you don't want to miss this. If you're somebody that loves goal setting and actually wants to stick to your goals this year, you definitely want to join me for my pre-party where we will do our Best Year Blueprints together. So, in order to sign up and download your free guide, free video of the Best Year Blueprint, go to thebestyearblueprint.com. Can't wait to celebrate the very best year with you ever of all time. You have to take action. You have to give yourself dares of the day. You have to put yourself out there. You have to let yourself be a little bit uncomfortable and do scary things. It takes doing. It takes taking action uncomfortably a lot in order to get what it is that you want. And I want you to know that it is easy to create everything that you want. You just have to see it and believe it so that you get into the vibration of feeling like you already have it. And once you feel like you already have it, the action steps become a hell of a lot easier.
What if today was the day that you dared yourself to do what you've always wanted? Welcome to the I Dare You podcast. I'm your host, Jen Gottlieb, and together we're going to step outside of our comfort zones and into our best lives, one dare at a time. So come on, I dare you to dive right on in.
Hello, 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 family. Welcome to the I Dare You podcast. Today we're talking about a topic I get asked about a lot. And it's a very, very perfect time to talk about this topic because of what's happening in my life right now. But the topic is the law of attraction, manifestation, creating whatever it is that you want through the power of your mind, through visualization, through deciding that you already have it, through matching the frequency of that thing and attracting it to you so you can create everything that you want in your life. Now, there are a lot of misconceptions when it comes to the law of attraction. I get asked all the time, Jen, I tried to manifest something. I did what the book told me to do and it's not working. And why is my manifestation not working? Why is manifesting a bunch of bullshit? Like I thought that this works. Why isn't it working for me? Now, I am here to tell you that there is a way to manifest and there's a way not to manifest. And unfortunately, a lot of books and podcasts and whatever gurus on the internet are teaching manifestation wrong. They're not necessarily teaching it wrong, but they're missing a very, very, very key component. And without this one component, you won't be able to necessarily make it work every single time. And I want you to be a master manifester. I'm going to just go ahead and say that I've become a master manifester. And I'm not saying that because I think I'm great. I'm saying that because the proof is in the pudding. And I have, in fact, manifested the majority of the things that I have in my life, including the guy I'm about to marry. So I am getting married. By the time you hear this podcast, it will probably be the week of my wedding. I'm getting married to Chris Winfield. He is my business partner and my life partner, obviously. And before I met him, I was a single girl that was dating in New York City for about 7 years and unbelievably frustrated at the fact that I couldn't meet my person. And then I decided to do an experiment and try to manifest him. And within a very short amount of time, I manifested the exact person that I had visualized and talked to and journaled about. And he is now in my life. And I'm going to tell you that story, but throughout this story and how I tell the story, I'm going to actually be giving you a step-by-step process. So actual steps to be able to manifest whatever it is that you want this year. I love that we're doing this now at the end of the year because I know we're all starting to set our New Year's goals and starting to plan what we want to create for 2023, which is why I created the Best Year Blueprint, which you can go get for free right now at thebestyearblueprint.com. which is a 3-step process on how to create the best year of your life, no resolutions necessary. But I love that we're talking about the law of attraction today at the end of the year because this really has a lot to do with skyrocketing your results of the best year blueprint. If you know how to manifest and you know how to use these 3 steps that I'm about to show you, and you know how to use the law of attraction properly, which is with one piece that I think many people are missing when it comes to the law of attraction, I know that you'll be able to get even better results than you could have ever imagined. And listen, if you're listening to this podcast, you're my people. I want you to succeed. I want you to create the life of your dreams, and I know that you can. So let's dive into my process, my step-by-step process that I call the creation process. And this was never a step-by-step process. I didn't know what I was doing when I was doing it. These are the exact steps that I took to be able to manifest the man that I'm about to marry. And when I say manifest, I mean create or attract it into my life, whatever words you want to use. I don't want this to be a super woo-woo thing because it doesn't have to be a woo-woo magical spiritual experience to be able to use the law of attraction and create what you want in your life. That's the first misconception. It doesn't have to be, this super woo-wee kind of a thing with crystals and all that stuff. If that stuff turns you off, if that stuff's your jam, I love it. It can be that, but it doesn't have to be. It could literally be a very, very tactical step-by-step process to bring whatever it is you want into your life. And I've done these steps. I didn't realize I was doing steps when I was doing them, but when I look backwards, I realized that I was doing these very specific steps to manifest a lot of the things in my life. But let's specifically dive into the story of how I manifested Chris, because people love hearing that story. They love hearing how I manifested love. So I was a single woman for about 7 years, and I was doing all the dating apps, and I was so frustrated with dating in New York City. It was freaking awful. If you're dating in New York City and you're frustrated, don't worry. Maybe it will get, well, if you're listening to this podcast episode, it's going to get better because you're going to flip around the way that you're thinking, and I promise you're going to find your person. But I was beside myself, depressed about the situation. I was ready to find love. I wanted to meet my person, and it wasn't happening. I was going on bad date after bad date after bad date after bad date. So I decided to do this experiment and manifest my person. I was like, I'm just going to use the law of attraction. I've done it before for other things in my life. Let's see if I can manifest him. So the first thing that I started to do when I was quote unquote manifesting or creating Chris, attracting him into my life, was I got really, really clear on who he was. So my first step is to see it. See it. You need to see what you want in order to create it. You don't necessarily need to see how you're going to get there, like how you're going to get that thing, but you need to see what the end goal is and what it really looks like. So I got really clear on who Chris was, and I started to see him in my mind's eye. So I knew that when I was looking at my man, when I would close my eyes and I would visualize my perfect human, or perfectly imperfect human, I knew that he was 6 feet tall, that he was an entrepreneur, that he was previously married. I knew for some reason that just popped into my mind that I wanted someone that had already been in a relationship. And I knew that he had a child from a previous relationship. I knew I wanted someone that already had a kid. I knew that he had tattoos. When I visualized him, I saw him with tattoos. I knew that he was into personal development and personal growth, and that he didn't drink alcohol. I knew that because I don't drink. And not that, I needed to find someone that didn't drink, but if you could ask me my perfect human, it would either be someone that doesn't drink or someone that didn't care that I didn't drink. So what else? I got very clear. I was like, he worked out at Equinox. He lived on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. And I had this list. And I know a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I've done the list before. for, the list, whatever. But when you're making your list and when you're seeing the thing that you want, whether it's a soulmate or a career or a job or something specific you're trying to manifest in your life, I want you to write down not the list of things that you think other people want for you. I want you to write down the list that you genuinely want. And sometimes it's really hard to get to that place of what you really want because we're so conditioned to want the things that other people want for us, to impress people with our list, right? Like my list years prior to that would have said like I wanted a Wall Street banker or a doctor or a lawyer because that's what my parents often conditioned me to think that I wanted that. And I didn't really. If I really thought about what I wanted, it wasn't even close to the typical 9 to 5 guy. Nothing's wrong with those type of guys, but that wasn't my person. So I got really clear on who he was. And then I moved into the second step of the creation process, which is to believe it. Because here's the thing, you can see it and you can visualize the thing, but if you don't believe that it's already yours and you don't meet the vibration of having it already, you're not going to be able to trick the subconscious mind into believing that that thing is yours, which is the thing that actually makes the action steps to getting the thing a lot easier. I know I've said the word thing 85 times in those sentences, but I think you're catching my drift. So the key to manifesting what you want is not necessarily visualizing it and it magically appearing in your life. The key is taking action to get that thing. But the only way that you're going to take action, even though you're going to be scared when you start to take action, it's going to be scary, but the best way to take action even when you're scared, is to trick the subconscious into believing that that thing is already yours. Because when you can do that, the action steps are a lot easier and less scary. And the opportunities that would lead you towards getting the thing that you want just suddenly become a lot more prevalent. Like they're screaming at you and there's neon signs pointing at all the opportunities and you just have to walk right through them. But in order to get to that level of fearless action, or not necessarily fearless action, but taking action with fear there anyway, is to believing that it's yours. So step 2 is to believe it. You went from step 1 to see it, see what you want. Step 2, you're going to believe that it's already yours. And this is one of the things that many law of attraction books or podcasts or gurus, they mess with this part a little bit because you really have to tap into believing that it's yours, not desperately wanting it and needing it. So you need to flip from desire to already having. So instead of saying, I want to find the love of my life, I want it, I need it. Because think about it, if you're saying, I want it and I need it, the energy that you're vibrating at, that your body is vibrating at, and the energy that you're putting out into the universe is wanting and needing, which essentially means that you don't have it. But you want to meet the energy and the vibration of having it because you attract what you are. So if you have it, you're going to attract having it. So you need to trick yourself to believing that it's already yours. How do you do that? You do that through gratitude, through being grateful for it as if it already exists. So how did I do that with manifesting my fiance, Chris? Well, every single day I would write down what I call a future gratitude list. That would be saying that I'm grateful for and feeling gratitude for things that I wanted that didn't necessarily exist already, but feeling gratitude for them as if they did. So every day I would be like, I'm so grateful that I met the love of my life today. I'm so grateful that we're a power couple, that we're so in love, that we do everything together, that he makes me so happy and I make him so happy. And I would just go really deep into feeling gratitude that he existed. And then I'd go even a step further and I would talk to him. So I would just do all of the things to trick my mind into believing that this guy existed. Now, you may think this part's batshit crazy, but this was the part that really helped me in a big way. I had this picture of this guy on my vision board. And it was the picture of like a back of a guy's head. So he didn't have a face. So I was like, this could represent my guy really easily. And I would look at this photo of this guy and I would talk to him as if he was really my guy and I knew him and he knew me and we were in love. And I would just be like, good morning. I love you so much. I can't wait to see you today. If you see me, I'm wearing this outfit. Come see me and say hi and introduce yourself, whatever. And I would just tell him how much I loved him every single day. Now, this was very helpful when it came to going on dates, because when I went on dates with guys that I knew weren't right for me, it was a lot easier for me to just disconnect from that and be like, oh, okay, you're not the guy, because I know my guy. I talk to him every single day and it's not you, right? And I wouldn't get anxious and I wouldn't be sad and I wouldn't be hurt when a date didn't work out. I'd be like, oh, I have my guy. I talk to him every day and it's just not you. And it really helped my subconscious start to fall in love with just being okay being alone. Because I had this vision of this guy in my heart that existed. So I wasn't really alone. The guy that I created was within me, but he really existed in my subconscious mind. So I didn't feel lonely anymore. And it started to help me be in love with being alone. And I always say that the fastest way to attract love is to just be love and know that you already have all of the love that you need inside of you. So that's the second step. You want to believe it. Now, the third step is the most important step in the whole process. And this is the step that most law of attraction books, including one that starts with the letter S, does not tell you to do. And this is the most important piece, because if you don't do this piece, you're not going to make anything happen, because you can see it and you can believe it all day long, and you can visualize, you can vision board, you can glue shit to a board. It doesn't do anything unless you take action. So the third step is to do it. You have to take action. And that's why this podcast is called the I Dare You podcast. It's not just, the inspirational podcast where I'm inspiring you. I'm actually giving you dares and having you take action on what it is that you want. Because if nothing happens, then nothing happens. It's great to think big. It's great to dream big, but I want you to do big. And nothing's going to happen for you if you don't start to take action. The visualizing, the seeing it, the believing it makes the doing it a hell of a lot easier. That's why you have to do the seeing it and the believing it before you get to the doing it. But the doing it's the most important. So what's one thing that you can do today that's going to bring you closer to getting the thing that you want? Right? For me, it was putting myself out there. I signed up for a very specific gym that I didn't want to sign up for a lot of reasons. I used to work there ages ago and I didn't want to go back there, but I felt the need. I felt like there was somebody there that I needed to meet, and it was right by my house, and I wasn't being as social as I should, and I knew I wasn't going to meet anybody on my couch. So I went and I signed up for this gym. And that was one of those opportunities where the neon lights was pointing right at it. And it came from all the seeing and the believing, but the doing had to happen when I went and I put my credit card down and I started working out there. Right? You got to take action. You have to do stuff in order for stuff to happen. It's not just going to magically plop into your lap. If you visualize having a Lamborghini, the Lamborghini is not just going to magically drive into your driveway. You have to work your ass off to get that Lamborghini. Now, when you're visualizing the Lamborghini and being grateful for the Lamborghini, you don't need to know how you got the Lamborghini. You just need to take action when the opportunities present itself. And the opportunities will present themselves as you move through the seeing it and the believing it process, because your eyes are just going to be a lot more open and you're going to be looking for those opportunities. You have to take action. You have to give yourself dares of the day. You have to put yourself out there. You have to let yourself be a little bit uncomfortable and do scary things. So when I got introduced to Chris Winfield and we were DMing on Facebook, I asked him out because I was like, this guy's he's never going to try to meet up with me. He's just going to want to DM with me. And this is not what I'm here for. So I asked him. And so then I showed up. You know what I mean? It takes doing. It takes taking action uncomfortably a lot in order to get what it is that you want. I'm sorry. Sorry, but I'm not sorry. I hate to break it to you. If you think that you can just sit around and think about what you want, and that's how the law of attraction works, you're wrong. And I want you to know that it is easy to create everything that you want. You just have to see it and believe it so that you get into the vibration of feeling like you already have it. And once you feel like you already have it, the action steps become a hell of a lot easier. Okay? So then last but not least, for this specific episode of the podcast, the last step of the process is to receive it. Many people skip this part. The universe starts to give you what you want, and then for some crazy reason, you sabotage yourself, you don't accept it, you don't receive it, you don't celebrate it, you push it away. You have to be ready to receive it, because think about it. The universe is like giving you a gift, and it's like not saying thank you for a gift. Could you imagine giving a gift to somebody and then them not even saying thank you? Would you ever want to give them a gift ever again? No. Same thing goes with the universe. When the universe gives you gifts, you need to receive them and bask in them and be grateful for them, because the more that you bask in the goodness and the receiving and the gratefulness and the celebration of getting that thing, the more your energy is going to be matched to a frequency of celebration, of gratitude, of winning, of thankfulness, of abundance. And then you're going to attract more of that thing to you. And the universe is going to be like, wow, okay, I'm just going to keep giving you more of that, because that is the vibration that you are radiating at. So I'm going to match that and you're going to get more. So when you do get the thing that you want, I want you to receive the shit out of it. Don't push it away because you feel like you're going to lose it. Don't sabotage yourself because you're scared of success. Allow it in and jump on your unicorn when the universe gives it to you. fully receive it, okay? So the steps to the creation process: see it, believe it, do it. And then I added step 3.5 after do it, just in case, because you might have to do it again and again and again. You might not get it on the first try. You may have to keep doing it again and again and again and taking action until you get the thing that you want. So resiliency is unbelievably huge when it comes to creating what you want. You can't just, do something once, and if you didn't get it, just, give up. You have to keep taking action. But the more that you can believe it's already yours, feel grateful for it as if it's already yours, and match that frequency of which you would feel if you already had that thing, the easier the action steps are going to be. And then once you get that thing, because I guarantee you will, if you keep taking action and doing until you get it, you need to receive it, accept it, celebrate the shit out of getting that thing, bring it into your life, share it with your friends, bask in the abundance, milk it, feel the beautiful energy that you feel when you get that thing. If you just skip over the celebration and you don't thank the universe for giving you the thing that you wanted, it's not going to continue to give you anything. Okay? So that's it. See it, believe it, do it again and again and again and again, and then fully receive it. That, my friends, is the law of attraction in action, or what I like to call the creation process. How to create anything that you want using manifestation or the law of attraction or whatever the hell you want to call it. It doesn't have to be a woo-woo situation. It doesn't have to be a magical thing. It can be a tactical framework that you can use to create everything that you want. And let's be real. My 6-foot-tall entrepreneur from the Upper West Side with a beautiful daughter who is previously married, who has tattoos, who is into personal development, who we run a company together. We're a power couple. And that's what I always used to say, that we would be a power couple. And I was so grateful for that. And we help each other and make each other better. That person that I believed that I had, he doesn't drink alcohol, all those things. He is now my husband-to-be that I am marrying. And one last thing that I'm going to leave you with, and this is to double tap on the fact that you need to go download the Best Year Blueprint, because I used to do the Best Year Blueprint back before I met Chris. And one of the pieces of the Best Year Blueprint is writing a letter to your future self. And the year I met Chris, I met him on November 29th. And we ended up going on a trip together for New Year's. And on New Year's, I open up my letter every year. And he was sitting on the bed next to me. And I was like, all right, Chris, I got to open my letter and I've got to read it. And I was actually quite nervous because it was a vulnerable thing to open my letter. And I was going to read it out loud to him. And I forgot what that letter said. I had no idea what that letter said. And so I opened it. And this was a letter that I wrote to myself the previous year, congratulating me on everything that I had manifested and created that year, right? So when I was writing it, I was tapping into the gratitude that I would feel when I would open that letter. So I opened the letter, and the first line of that letter is, "Dear Jenny, I'm so excited that you're sitting next to the love of your life right now. Give him a kiss for me." And he was sitting there, and I got to give him a kiss. So if you want to create the best year of your life and use that tool and a whole bunch of other tools that I use every single year, go to thebestyearblueprint.com and download my free guide and free video. And then you can sign up for my New Year's pre-party where we will go do the Best Year Blueprint together. So I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I'm so grateful for you. I love you so much. And my dare of the day for you is twofold. Number one, it's to start figuring out what you want to create and start to see it, believe it, do it, and then receive it. But number two, it's to go to thebestyearblueprint.com and download your free guide to be able to create the best year of your life. I just want everybody to have this. It's completely free. It's the step-by-step process that I personally have used to create everything that I've created in my life, and I want you to have it. So that is it for today. I love you so much, and I will see you next time on the I Dare You podcast.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the I Dare You podcast. I'm so grateful you chose to spend this time with me, but I'm even more grateful for your future self that you are building one dare at a time. So my first dare for you is to subscribe to the show and then share it with a friend who you think needs to step a little bit more outside their comfort zone and into their best lives. They'll thank you for it. I'll see you next time on the I Dare You podcast.